the last new feature is this. It's called a field bank. And so if we were to create a new instrument, so now when you create an instrument and you want to add fields, there's a new button here that's called import from field bank. And what this does is this searches, I don't know exactly what it searches. I don't think it searches all of REDCap. There's got to be some sort of data set that it searches, but basically what you would do, so it's a catalog of common data fields. And I don't know if this is something that REDCap generates. I don't think it queries our database. But like, let's say you wanted to have, you wanted to add a race field. You would be able to look at other fields that have been used for race before. So if you're not sure exactly which values to code for race, you would just be able to click on this and say, okay, I like this one. Or if you wanted a drop down for all these, you would just click and say add field, and it builds it for you and has it all in here. You could also, they also have the NIH NLM catalog. And so if we did like, I think if I do race again, this is their additional categories or standardized categories, I believe. So like OMB for, ethnicity, 97, some sort of standardization that it's searching for.
Oh my God, that's great.
That's fabulous.
So, I mean, I don't know if there's any other crazy, I guess, like pathology, maybe.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, there's quite a few for that. But if you did something as like, generic as like
Phone number.
first name, yeah, phone number. They same thing with like first name.
Right.
It just, what is your name? Other things like that. So it's one of those where, it's going to be useful for things that are a little more complex versus like, how do I make a date of birth field, or, like maybe address. Trying to think like nationality or like language. Yeah. So like preferred language, you know. So this is a cool feature because then you can just query that. And I think it tells you, let's see. I don't think it tells you what it queries from in the messenger either. And it just says standardized catalogs of commonly used fields, such as the U.S. National Library of Medicine catalog. So, it might be one of those things where this is a new feature, and as they go, they'll probably add more things and more standardizations, more libraries to query from. But yeah, I think it's a cool feature, and I really like the I really like that it adds the that it adds the action tags and the calculated fields there, because that's really helpful, especially when you have like an instrument with hundreds of fields, and you want to make sure that you have your action tags correct, and you don't have to keep clicking into each one. Did I add the action tag for that? It's the same thing with having the branching logic displayed up here. You can immediately see which fields have branching logic, and now you can see which fields have action tags or calculated fields. It's really nice.
Yeah, so with that field bank, there's no intention of ever letting a separate institution or an individual institution add to the field bank for your own institution. It's always going to come from Vanderbilt, and they're going to populate that on an ongoing basis. They'll add things to it, but generally it will never be what you did before or what other users from the University of Arizona did. It'll always be based on how it's built and what they add to Vanderbilt's site for this.
Yeah, that makes sense, just for ease of use and
Right.
querying from one point versus trying to run through your database and all your fields and figure out what you've got, and have it change for everybody. Yeah, I think it's a good feature though. I think it'll be helpful.
Oh, I agree.
So those are all the new features for this 10.7 version.
Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Any questions? No. Well, okay then. We're going to shut down early.
So the calc text thing, I went ahead and put it in my project, and it does work.
Oh, neat.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's really nice, because then I don't have to pull in anything from the original record. I can just print, do the report on all the protocol records, and then I can sort it on the IRB number and see everybody that's listed on each individual IRB that way, rather than, because when we sort it, in the other way, we lose all that connection. So it worked really, really well. Thanks for coming up with the idea.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad it worked.